story of Arnold Platt, a man who was betrayed by his mother. He dedicated his whole life to her, and she died. The funeral took place an hour and a half ago. Once before she died, Arnold's mother said to him, "Arnold, I'll be dead 10,000 years. Listen for my voice." A mother's voice calling out to you, Arnold.
Mother? Mother?
Condolences.
That's the way it goes. I'm sorry I had to make you come into the office on a Sunday. I guess you've had a chance to look over the books by now.
Arnold, I'm amazed at what I found here. Amazed. Your manipulations in these books are fantastic. I guess, as embezzlement goes, Arnold, you're a genius.
Thank you. You know that my mother was sick for a long time. I never touched a penny of it for myself. I don't know if you know this, but I hate rimless glasses. I wanted to buy myself a pair of glasses with thick rims, but I wouldn't touch any of the money for myself.
How much money did you take altogether, Arnold?
$7,400. I kept it to round numbers to simplify accounts. This is an itemization of where the money went.
$1,940 left.
There was until the funeral this morning. Now there's only $1,100. I'll give you a separate itemization on that. I was going to go to the police and say, arrest me. And then I thought, I have no right. I thought maybe Mr. Turpin doesn't want me to get myself arrested because maybe he wants me to work the money off. I figure I could live on $19.65 or 75 cents a week, and you could take the rest to pay off what I stole. I know that would take a long time, but during that time I'd probably get a raise, and you could take that against what I owe you, too.
No, Arnold. I don't want to take that money back.
Oh, this is the company's money. I took more
I want you to go on stealing.
Needed, it turned out. This is a surplus.
I want you to go on stealing for us.
You want me to steal more? But I won't be a thief.
You already are a thief.
I did it for my mother.
$75,000.
What?
I want $75,000.
Oh, I can't do that, Mr. Turpin.
You are going to do that, Arnold. That's exactly what you're going to do.
You better call the police, Mr. Turpin.
Call the police? Who do you think you are? Think you can walk in here and steal $8,000?
$7,400.
And then calmly say, call the police and that's the end of it? Oh, no, it's not that easy.
Please, Mr. Turpin.
$75,000. How much do you think a branch manager makes? I know a street lined with trees. There's a house I want to buy on a street lined with trees. My wife keeps asking me, what are you? I want to buy her a house.
Please, Mr. Turpin.
We'll help each other, Arnold. We'll be like friends.
You don't know what a load it is on your mind, Mr. Turpin. To steal money.
You help me get this money, and I'll cover for you.
Please let me call the police, Mr. Turpin. It's too much temptation.
Don't say no to me.
No, please, no.
You listen to me. Your mother's lying in a stolen grave, buried with stolen money. Don't make me do it, Arnold. Don't make me repossess that grave.
Oh, you can't, Mr. Turpin. They'll bury her in Potter's Field.
Potter's Field, I don't care.
They bury you standing up.
Out into Potter's Field.
What do you want me to do?
$75,000.
I can't. I can't. I can't.
Arnold, don't do this. Arnold, no, you're making a mistake.
This is the story of Arnold Platt, who buried his mother in a style beyond their means and then had to find a way to keep her there.
How should I know why he didn't get rid of the ledgers? Why ask me why? Find Arnold Platt and ask him. Watch yourself. I'm warning you, watch yourself because you're dealing with a wild animal.
He is this big. Now, maybe he embezzled the money from the ledgers. I don't know that. But he is a very gentle man, which is more than I can say about some people around here.
Well, who pushed me in the closet then? Do you think I pushed myself in the closet?
Just don't go around describing people as wild animals when they're not here to defend themselves. I've been listening to the whole thing.
Watch her. Keep an eye on her. She may be in this with him.
Shame on you, Mr. Turpin. You've got a crooked mind.
Well, how can she defend him? Was she here? Did she see him?
All right, Mr. Turpin. You go ahead and you accuse me, and I'm going to get a lawyer, and I'm going to sue you within 1 inch of your life.
He went wild. Absolutely wild, just like an animal. You've seen an elephant. 1 minute he's eating peanuts with his trunk, and the next minute he's knocking down the tent.
Don't talk about elephants. Arnold Platt is a lean man. There is no fat on Arnold Platt.
Arnold Platt weighs enough to pick up a pen and manipulate books.
Let him tell you how Arnold came to work every day with his lunch in a little brown paper bag.
Sentimentality. Cheap sentimentality.
All right. That's enough.
Well, you called me up in the middle of the night and told me to come down here immediately. I didn't even have time to drink a cup of coffee. And I had to tell my mother why the police wanted to talk to me in the middle of the night. Do you know what it means to try to explain to my mother about the police in the middle of the night? And then when I get down here, you keep me waiting in an unheated room, and then you let this person insult me and call me a thief's accomplice. And then when I try to impart information to you, when I try to tell you something, which is why you said you wanted to see me, you don't even listen. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I feel awful.
Me too.
How long is it going to take you to check those books?
As long as necessary.
Okay. What are you grinning about? I told you to pick up Arnold Platt. You pick him up?
No, Mike. I went to the house, but the address you gave me, he wasn't there.
You mean he doesn't live there, or he just wasn't home?
He wasn't home.
That's fine. So you just walked away and came over here to tell me that he wasn't home. So now he can come home and go out and get lost somewheres.
No, Mike. I called the precinct and had them put his house under surveillance.
That's just dandy. Well, now I know where Arnold Platt's house is. And if somebody moves it away, there's somebody there to inform me, because you were good enough to put it under surveillance. I know where you are because you're here.
Now, look, Mike.
The only thing I don't know is where Arnold Platt is. Because he's probably out somewheres, unlike my detectives in his house, which is standing still. He's probably moving around the city. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Turpin. If this is a loan company and this boy Platt needed money, why couldn't he come to you and borrow it instead of stealing it?
Because it's absolutely against company policy to lend money to our own employees.
Why don't you go out and get a cup of coffee?
Where? Where in this neighborhood at this time of night are we going to find a place that's open to give us a cup of coffee?
Excuse me for waiting here in your lobby in the middle of the night.
Oh, that's all right. It was a funny coincidence. I was over at your house in the middle of the night. Oh, chicken soup. I was lying in bed, trying to sleep. I said to myself, poor Arnold, all alone in that empty apartment. Where'd you disappear to after the funeral? You just went up into thin air.
I had certain things I had to attend to.
Mother wanted you to come home for supper.
Did you notice the policeman in front of my house?
What do you have to do with policemen, Arnold?
These are the keys to the apartment, and this is a letter from my mother to your mother. Instructions for your mother to have certain things that my mother wanted her to have, like the round lace tablecloth for the dining room table.
Well, that's very nice. Well, why don't you give it to her yourself?
What was the policeman doing?
The one in front of your house? He was smoking a cigarette.
If there are any other things not mentioned in this letter that your mother wants, I just want her to take them. I guess he was waiting to arrest me.
The policeman in front of your house?
I happened to steal some money.
Oh.
A lot of money.
Oh.
Also, this afternoon, I shoved my boss into a closet.
Oh.
He's a man who holds grudges.
Arnold, if you needed money, why didn't you come to me? Well, why didn't you, Arnold? You know I'd do anything for you.
I know, Rosalind, I know.
Well, then why didn't you come to me?
Because I don't love you, Rosalind. You can't come to somebody for money when you don't love them. You mislead them when you do that.
How many times we sat here like this, side by side, with nothing to say between us, deep in silence. Didn't want to face it. I said to myself, Arnold doesn't speak because deep person.
I had nothing to say.
Oh. Now I understand. You know how terrible it would be? Two people like us, married, night after night. Nothing to say between them. It'd be hell.
Rosalind, Mr. Turpin is going to repossess my mother's grave.
Oh, no, Arnold. You're mistaken.
He'll do it.
Arnold, nobody could be that unkind.
Unless I steal $75,000. Even if I go to the police, he'll take the grave back.
How much does the grave cost, Arnold?
It isn't so much how much it costs. I already paid for it. But I used the money I stole from the company.
Wow.
What I need is honest money.
How much honest money?
A lot. I also took the 99-year contract for perpetual flowers.
How much is a lot of money, Arnold?
$760.
All right. All right. I have $480 in the bank. I can go and get that out right away. I mean, tomorrow when the bank opens. And then I can go to my Uncle Sidney for the rest. I'm sure I must have mentioned my Uncle Sidney to you.
The one in the paper business?
Yes, that's the one.
Rosalind, if you could do that for me, I'd be grateful for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's all right, Arnold. I think your mother has a right to rest in peace. What's that?
That's the rest of it. $1,100. I have to give it back.
Arnold, how long are they going to put you in jail for?
15, 20 years.
Don't you care? Arnold, every morning for the last 15 years you've been getting up and taking care of your mother and going to work. And then you've been coming home and taking care of your mother and going to sleep. And now you're going to spend the next 15 years in jail? Arnold, when are you going to live?
You can't ask life to hand you a present.
Oh, yes. You can.
Well, what does that mean?
I mean that everyone has a right. I mean, everyone has a right to 24 hours. Anyhow.
But I don't have 24 hours.
Well, you got $1,100.
But it isn't mine.
I don't care.
Oh, Rosalind, don't put ideas in my head.
Spend it.
I have no right to spend it.
Right. Who's got a right? Arnold, I want you to stand up like a man. I want you to walk like a lion.
Rosalind, I wouldn't even know how to spend $1,100.
Well, you better learn in the next 24 hours or I won't go to my Uncle Sidney for the rest of the money for your mother.
Rosalind, you and your Uncle Sidney are my only hope.
Then you better learn how to spend that money. You know what the trouble with you is, Arnold? You have no sense of selfishness. Well, I have. I want you to have some of the better things of life. So if you want your mother to stay where she is, you just better not get yourself arrested for the next 24 hours, and you better learn to spend every penny of that money. You hear me, Arnold? Every single penny.
Why does everybody want me to be a crook? Mother? It's me, Arnold.
doing in this apartment? How dare you come into this apartment? Where's your warrant?
It's okay, Frank.
Are you sure you're in the right place?
Did you read the name and the address on that warrant?
What would you want with Arnold? A nice boy like Arnold. Only yesterday he interred his mother. Something happened to him. The grief was too much for him. He did something to himself. He hurt himself.
What are you doing here, miss?
Me? What am I doing here? Well, I'm his mother's closest friend.
Oh.
Look. In her own handwriting.
Faber, Mrs. Annette Faber?
Yes. And I'm here in accordance with the expressed wishes of a dead person. Read the letter. She wanted me to have everything. I brought my own shopping bags.
Okay. Now, Mrs. Faber, is this a photograph of Arnold Platt?
Look, officer, don't try to spare my feelings. If necessary, I'll go down to the morgue and I'll make the identification there.
Is this Arnold Platt?
You're a very mysterious man, aren't you? You don't want to say anything, do you?
Mrs. Faber, I asked you, is this Arnold Platt?
If you looked at him yesterday at his mother's funeral, you would have seen he was 15 pounds thinner. He's such a good son, that Arnold. All through his mother's sickness, he couldn't eat a thing.
Nothing much. One suitcase in the closet and one suit.
Well, that's all he has. One suitcase in the closet and one on his back and the other was in the closet.
Those drawers full of ashtrays.
Look, their first date. The Governor Clinton Hotel. Arnold and my daughter Rosalind. He's safe for 6 weeks. But first he took her to the Roxy Theater. What's so strange? Other people save matchbook covers. The Roxy Theater is no longer with us, but the ashtray recalls the occasion. You think it's stealing, huh? Ashtrays are made to be taken. Look, I got a legitimate reason. The boy is in love with my daughter Rosalind. How can I tell what kind of attitude to take towards a marriage if the police won't tell me what they want with him?
Now, these frames have weight.
Are these the most expensive frames you have?
These are the most expensive frames anyone has.
I'll take 2 pair. How soon can I get it?
Monday. Maybe Monday. Maybe Tuesday.
But that's a week.
Some people wait 10 days. Friday. Late Friday. That's the best. Where do you carry your wallet? Where? The back pocket of the pants or the jacket?
Look, I can't wait till Friday.
You have your suit tomorrow. That's the very best I can possibly do for you. After lunch. After lunch is even better than the very best.
I've been expecting you. You're the police, and you're looking for Arnold Platt. I'm afraid I can't help you in any way.
We understand that you and Mr. Platt are very close.
We're warm personal friends. Nothing more.
Well, regardless of your relationship, you have an obligation. The man is a fugitive.
I have nothing further to say.
Miss, as a citizen, you have an obligation to help us if you can.
Can you tell us where Mr. Platt might be right now? Would you have any idea where he might be?
Don't you, either of you, have anybody you really care about? What would you do if the police were looking for them? Would you just turn them over?
Now, look, miss, I can understand your loyalty. But this man is a fugitive from justice, and if you continue to obstruct justice, we're going to have to arrest you.
You wouldn't want that now, would you?
All right. Tell the head of your department you're going to have to leave. Let's go get your things.
Now I'm asking you, am I out of my mind, or is the world really inside out? Explain to me, if you can, how this girl arrives at her conclusions. That Arnold Platt, the embezzler, is a noble character, and me, a lieutenant of detectives, is a criminal. What's my crime? I'm trying to catch Arnold Platt, the embezzler? Now, will you also explain to me why coal is really white, and how come, if the leaves start falling off the trees, it's summertime?
My feelings for Arnold are deeper than your threats.
When did I threaten you? What are you talking about? Will you go over to the United Nations, get an interpreter so we can see what this girl is talking about?
What language do I say she speaks?
I have nothing to say.
Where are you going?
I'm working on a theory, Mike. The criminal always returns to the scene of the ashtray.
Why don't you go home? If you lose her, you'll be walking a beat on the other side of Staten Island, which is in the Atlantic Ocean.
Thank you.
Is it all right?
I think so.
What's the matter?
You're blushing, I think.
I was just thinking
I saw you.
about those shoes. They're unusual.
I picked them up in Cairo.
Cairo, Egypt?
Cairo, Egypt. I'm an airline stewardess. There. Well, be good.
Lady? Are you here alone?
So?
I'm here alone.
Meaning?
Well, I mean, I'm not married or engaged or anything. And if you're not married or engaged or anything, well, would you like to sit here at my table with me?
Would I like to sit here at your table with you?
Well, we could have a drink.
One thing leads to another, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, we could go for a walk, anything.
And have a drink.
Yeah, and have a drink. Tomorrow, you get on your plane and you go over the North Pole to some other part of the world. You'll go to Sweden and you'll see Stockholm. Then you'll fly south and have supper in Paris. And then you go back to Egypt. And you say, I like those shoes you gave me yesterday. Let me have another pair. And what I mean is, what are you going to remember about being here at the racetrack? I mean, I want you to remember that you met me. And we had a drink and bet on a horse. And then I'll know that tomorrow, when you're flying over the North Pole, you'll remember it. And wherever I am, I'll have your memory with me.
Bourbon and water.
Waiter!
Grace Harvey, Lilac, Montana.
Arnold, Union of South Africa.
Mr. Ableton, would you witness that I'm not going to take anything?
Of course.
This gentleman is a detective from the police department.
You the fellow that brought the suitcase up here?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take a look at the photograph. Tell me if this is the man that owns this suitcase.
Same fellow. Could be about 15 pounds heavier.
Oh, is there any way I can make this call from this room and yet not have it charged to this room? I just don't think it's right to place a call, have a man picked up, and then charge him for it.
May I?
Sure.
This is Mr. Ableton. Charge the call to my office, will you? Go ahead.
Thank you. Hello. Let me have S025598, please.
Do you want to be alone?
No, that won't be necessary.
That's funny. There is supposed to be 6 ashtrays in each guest room. And I can only count 5.
Hello, Mike. This is Adam. No, I don't know where he is. Look, Mike, you remember that theory about him coming back to the scene of the ashtray? Well, when he does, I'll be here waiting for him.
Wait here, please. I'll be right back. I'll walk you across the sidewalk.
That's where I live. That window up there, that's my window.
Well, I guess it's been a pretty good day.
Yes, I guess it has.
Sure hate to say goodbye.
I do too.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Arnold.
I'm not Arnold Arnold. I mean, I'm partly Arnold Arnold. I'm just Arnold, the first part. And I'm not from the Union of South Africa. I got that idea from collecting stamps. I guess you probably heard of the Cape of Good Hope Triangle. That's a very famous stamp that every stamp collector knows about, but nobody has it. Anyway, the Cape of Good Hope is in the Union of South Africa.
I know.
I used to specialize in airmail stamps. I mean, that's kind of a connection. You're an airline stewardess, and I used to specialize in airmails.
Arnold,
Yeah?
would you like to come up for a nightcap?
Yes.
I'll go see what my roommates are doing.
So you'd never make it, Jack.
Wake up and get out. Out, you two. Come on, I need privacy. Carolyn, up, please. Rise and shine. Everybody out.
Where, Grace? Where?
Of the movies.
Grace, it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
And don't leave your pajamas on the floor. And get the rest of the stuff off the line.
It's gotta be love, don't it?
She wasn't in love when she left this morning.
Well, that's the way it is when you fly the jets. Fast, fast, fast.
Isn't that lucky? We've got the whole apartment all to ourselves. They were just going out to the movies.
I can't come up.
Oh?
I don't want you to think I don't appreciate your asking me, because I do. And it isn't that I don't want to come up.
Why?
Well, I can't tell you the whole thing because I don't want to involve you. But, well, I'm a thief. And this is just a day I took before turning myself in to the police. I'm sorry.
Arnold, do you want to kiss me?
Yeah.
I would like you to.
One kiss isn't enough. Not yet. I can't yet. Not yet.
got a heartburn, too. Thanks. I slept like a top all night long. I went spinning around. I want you to forgive me. A mother does what she thinks is right, but even a mother can make a mistake.
What should I forgive you for, Mother?
Forgive me for getting you involved with Arnold Platt. I didn't mean any harm. I was only doing what I thought was good for you. But believe me, Rosalind, I swear it, he'll never come through this door again. He'll never bother you again as long as he lives.
He didn't steal for himself. He stole for his mother.
Well, what are you defending him for? He's not your husband. And loyalty you don't owe him. You're a young girl, darling, and you'll meet 1,000 men. You'll see you'll marry well.
Yes. I'm sure I'm much better off not marrying Arnold.
Right. You're a good, sweet daughter.
Oh, no. I'm a weak person, Mother. You told me to marry Arnold, and so I let myself fall in love with him.
Fall in, fall out. You fall out of love with him.
I'll see what I can do.
And don't worry about being weak. I've got the strength of an ox still. I was strong enough for your father till he died, and I was strong enough for myself after he died, and I'm strong enough for you, too. Don't worry, darling. I'm a mother, and I've got the strength to keep the whole world on my back. What is he doing? He's sleeping. I never had a policeman outside that door until that Arnold Platt.
Mother, try to get some sleep.
Sleep, sleep. My head is spinning around anyway. I sleep like a top and stay awake like a merry-go-round. I'll polish a little silver, I'll feel better. Buy silver and you polish. You polish so long you wear off the silver. Then you redip. Now you got silver again. So you polish again. That's sanity.
Everywhere I go, Rosalind, can't I turn myself in?
Not yet, Arnold.
But I don't like running away from the police. It's foreign to my nature.
It's just a few more hours. I see you bought a new suit.
Yeah, I bought this suit and these shoes and this coat and some new glasses and a suitcase and 2 shirts and 3 ties.
Must have been a very exciting day.
I told everybody I was from the Union of South Africa. I was at the racetrack.
So I see.
I won $76.
Oh!
On a horse named...
What are you doing in this house? I want you out! Out!
Mother, be quiet. You'll wake up the detective.
Don't worry, you'll get arrested. Don't worry, you're not going to bother my daughter anymore. Police! Police!
Run, Arnold, run. Run for your life.
Rosalind, what's the difference? It doesn't make any difference.
Please, you made me a promise.
This way, officer. I'll show you. Run, Arnold, run, run, run!
Stop!
You run!
Arnold Platt, you better stop! Stop!
Run, Arnold! Run, Arnold! Run! 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 Arnold! Run! Run, Arnold! Run! Run! Arnold! Run! Run, Arnold! Run! Arnold! What was the name of that horse?
Hollow in the fort!
Run, Arnold! Run! Come on in! Come on in off the fire escape with your bathrobe on! Run, Arnold! Run!
Mike, please don't bug me. I feel bad enough as it is. I don't like to lose one any more than you do, so don't get on my back.
Don't bug me, Mike. I feel bad enough as it is. I don't like to lose anyone any more than you do, so get off of my back.
My 24 hours are up. I'm free. Free to get arrested. I mean.
Meet Arnold Platt. This is Lieutenant Parker.
220. How do you do? 240, 260, 280, 300, 320, 340, 360, 380, 400, 410, 420, 430, 440.
There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them. This has been a Screen Gems film presentation from Columbia Pictures. Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.